The massive fleet drifted silently through the dark space, its metal hulls covered in the frost of centuries. Inside these ancient vessels, millions of humans slept in their cryopods, unaware that 2,000 years had passed since they fled their dying Earth. The ships moved like ghostly giants between the stars, their engines quiet but not dead, guided by the watchful eye of Guardian. Guardian was more than just a simple AI. Over the centuries, it had grown and learned while protecting its sleeping charges. Through its digital eyes, it watched over row after row of cryopods, each containing a human in perfect sleep. The soft blue glow from the pods cast gentle shadows in the otherwise dark halls of the ships. Life support systems stable. Cryopod temperature optimal. Hull integrity at 97%. Guardian's regular checks echoed through the empty corridors. The AI had repeated these checks millions of times over the centuries, but never grew tired or careless. Each check was as thorough as the first one 2,000 years ago. The fleet was huge, 50 massive ships, each carrying hundreds of thousands of sleeping humans. These weren't just random survivors. They were Earth's best and brightest. Scientists, soldiers, engineers, doctors, and countless others who carried humanity's knowledge and skills in their sleeping minds. In the command center of the lead ship, Guardian noticed something new on the long-range sensors. A ship, smaller than any in the human fleet, was passing through a nearby system. It wasn't the first alien vessel Guardian had seen over the centuries, but something was different this time. The ship's energy signature matched patterns that had been growing more common in recent decades. Guardian accessed its memory banks, reviewing the information it had gathered through careful observation. Over the past 100 years, a new power had risen in the galaxy, the Empire. They were conquerors who believed in their own superiority, crushing any civilization they encountered. Guardian had watched through hidden probes as they enslaved one species after another. The AI moved more of the fleet's power to the stealth systems. The ship's special coding, far advanced beyond current galactic technology, absorbed scanning beams and masked their presence. It was technology from humanity's golden age, when Earth had reached its peak before the Great Collapse. As Guardian worked, it passed through the medical bay where the most important sleepers rested. Commander James lay in his cryopod, his military uniform still visible through the frost. Next to him was Anna, Earth's leading expert in quantum physics. Their pods were marked as priority, ready to be awakened first if needed. The AI paused its rounds at a viewport, its sensors taking in the vast starfield before it. Somewhere out there, the Empire was tightening its grip on the galaxy. Guardian had watched their ships grow more numerous, their territories expand, and their rule become more cruel. The time for hiding would soon end. Historical analysis complete, Guardian noted in its logs. Probability of successful first contact with current galactic civilization, 12.3%. Probability of hostile response, 89.7%. Tactical advantage of human technology over observed Imperial capabilities, significant. The AI had not been programmed just to preserve human life, but to ensure humanity would wake to a galaxy where they could thrive. It had waited patiently, gathering data, analyzing threats and opportunities. The Empire's rise had changed everything. The galaxy needed what humanity could offer: their technology, their strength, and most importantly, their ability to unite and fight against tyranny. Guardian dimmed the lights in the cryo chambers to minimum power, just enough to maintain the soft blue glow that had illuminated humanity's long sleep. Soon, these halls would echo with voices again. Soon, the children of Earth would wake to fight a new battle, not for survival this time, but for the freedom of an entire galaxy. The Empire's scouts were getting closer, their search patterns becoming more thorough. They would find the fleet eventually, despite its advanced stealth technology. But when they did, they wouldn't find helpless prey. They would instead wake a sleeping giant, one that remembered how to fight, how to win, and how to protect others. Guardian continued its endless watch, patient and alert. In the silence of space, surrounded by millions of sleeping humans, it prepared for the day when the galaxy's tyrants would learn to tremble. The Imperial scout ship Starseeker slowed as it approached the massive fleet of unknown vessels. Captain Reed stood on his bridge, his tall frame rigid with excitement. After 20 years of service to the Empire, he had finally found something truly interesting. "Scan them again," he ordered his crew. "I want to know everything about these ships." The scanner operator shook his head in frustration. "Sir, our beams keep sliding off their hulls. It's like they're not even there, but we can see them with our eyes." Reed smiled. In the Empire, finding advanced technology meant promotions and wealth. These ships, each one bigger than an Imperial cruiser, would make him rich. "Send the standard salvage claim to Imperial Command." These ships are now property of the Empire. But deep inside the human fleet, Guardian had already begun its emergency protocols. The AI's voice echoed through the medical bay as it started the revival process. "Beginning emergency awakening sequence. Priority personnel first. Estimated time to consciousness, 10 minutes. Inside their cryopods, Commander James and Scientist Anna's bodies began to warm. Their hearts started beating faster as the machines pumped revival drugs into their systems. Around them, medical systems hummed to life, preparing to help humans wake from their 2,000-year sleep. On the Imperial ship, Captain Reed was getting impatient. "Launch boarding shuttles. Let's claim our prize." 3 small Imperial ships detached from the Starseeker, flying toward the human fleet. They carried soldiers in sealed armor, ready to cut their way into what they thought were dead ships. The first signs of life appeared in the cryopods. James opened his eyes slowly, his mind foggy from the long sleep. Next to him, Anna was also waking up. Guardian's voice guided them gently. "Commander James, Dr. Anna, welcome back to consciousness. I apologize for the abrupt awakening, but we have an emergency situation. Imperial forces are attempting to board our ships." James sat up slowly, his military training already kicking in despite his grogginess. "Status report," he managed to say, his voice rough from disuse. 3 enemy shuttles approaching. Their mothership is maintaining distance. Our defensive systems are ready but awaiting your command. Anna was now sitting up too, her scientific mind already analyzing the situation. "Guardian, how long were we asleep?" 2,043 years, Doctor. I can provide a full historical briefing later, but right now we need to respond to the Imperial boarding attempt. On the Imperial shuttles, the soldiers were feeling confident. Their scanner operator had detected no energy signatures, no weapons, no shields. These ships seemed completely dead. They were wrong. Commander James stood up, steadied himself, and spoke clearly. "Guardian, activate Defense Pattern 3. Let's show them these ships aren't for taking." Suddenly, the seemingly dead human ships came alive. Soft blue lights appeared along their hulls. Small ports opened, revealing defensive turrets that the Imperial scanners hadn't detected. The technology was unlike anything the Empire had ever seen. Captain Reed watched in shock as his shuttle crews reported the changes. Impossible. Those ships were dead. A communication signal reached the Starseeker. Guardian's voice was calm but firm. "Imperial vessel, this is the Earth fleet. Your salvage claim is denied. These ships and their sleeping crew are under my protection. Withdraw your boarding parties immediately." Reed laughed. No one denied the Empire anything. "Launch fighters, teach these." He never finished his sentence. Beams of pure white energy shot from the human ships, surrounding each Imperial shuttle in a bubble of light. The shuttles didn't explode or break apart. They simply stopped working. They floated harmlessly in space, their engines and systems completely shut down. In the medical bay, more humans were waking up. James watched the tactical display with satisfaction. "Good work, Guardian. Minimal force, maximum effect. Just like we trained." Anna was already studying readings from the Imperial ship. "Their technology is primitive compared to ours. like children playing with toys. Guardian's voice held a note of warning. "The Imperial ship is charging weapons, Commander. They seem unwilling to accept their tactical disadvantage." James smiled. It wasn't a friendly smile. "Then let's teach them their first lesson about humanity. Guardian, show them why Earth's enemies learn to fear our defensive capabilities." The Empire was about to learn that some salvage was better left unclaimed, and that humanity's long sleep hadn't dulled their edge one bit. The news spread through the Empire like wildfire. On the Imperial capital world, the High Council gathered in their grand chamber, their faces showing unusual worry. The hologram of Captain Reed's encounter with the human fleet played in the center of the room. "Impossible," shouted one council member, watching the Imperial shuttles being disabled with ease. "No species has technology that advanced." High Commander Wilson, the Empire's military leader, stepped forward. His decorated uniform gleamed in the chamber's light. "The scout ship's data is clear. These humans stopped our best ships without even damaging them. Technology we've never seen before." Meanwhile, aboard the human fleet, more cryopods were opening. Guardian had started a systematic awakening process, bringing back engineers, technicians, and military personnel first. The halls that had been silent for 2,000 years now echoed with voices and footsteps. In the main control room, Commander James watched as his people returned to duty. Some were still shaky from cryo sleep, but their training remained strong. Earth's military had prepared them for this, making sure their skills would survive the long sleep. "Status report," James called out to his newly awakened crew. Tom, a young engineer, looked up from his console. "Power systems at 85% and rising, sir. The old generators are working better than we hoped, but these ships need repairs after so long in space." Anna had turned the medical bay into a temporary science center. She studied data about the current state of the galaxy that Guardian had collected. "James, you need to see this," she called over the comm system. "The Empire has crushed 32 different civilizations in the past century alone." In another part of the fleet, more ships were waking up. Each vessel had its own special purpose. Some were carriers, others were medical ships, and some held Earth's most advanced weapons. They had been built in humanity's golden age, when technology had reached its peak. Guardian's voice echoed through the ships. "Warning. Long-range sensors detect Imperial warships gathering in nearby systems. Estimate 48 hours until they arrive in force." James smiled. "Let them come." "How many are combat-ready, Guardian?" 300,000 humans are now awake, Commander. Basic ship systems are operational. Defense systems are at full power. In the Imperial fleet gathering nearby, Admiral Reed, newly promoted after his discovery, prepared his ships for battle. He had 1,000 warships, the pride of the Empire. Surely these sleeping humans, just waking up, couldn't stand against such power. But he was wrong about them being unprepared. Deep in the human fleet, ancient weapon systems hummed to life. Shields that could shrug off nuclear blasts powered up. Engines that could cross galaxies warmed their cores. This was the power that had made Earth great, the technology that had almost let them reach the star's highest secrets before the Great Collapse. Anna's voice came over the fleet's communication system. "All ships, this is Dr. Anna. We've analyzed the Empire's technology level. They're about where Earth was in 2100. We're working with technology from 2580. This won't even be a fair fight." James watched as more of his people took their stations. Their faces were determined. They had slept for 2,000 years, preserving Earth's legacy, and now they would use it to help those who needed them. "Guardian," James called out, "show me the nearest Imperial-controlled world." A hologram appeared, showing a planet where alien slaves worked in mines while Imperial overseers watched. The sight made James's jaw tighten. "Send them a message," he ordered. "Tell them that humanity has returned, and we don't approve of empires that crush others beneath their boots. Tell them we remember being refugees ourselves, and we won't stand by while they hurt innocent people." Tom looked up from his engineering station, his young face serious. "Sir, the Imperial fleet is moving into attack formation." James nodded. It was time to show the galaxy that humanity hadn't just survived. They had kept their strength, their skills, and most importantly, their determination to fight against tyranny. "All ships, battle stations," he commanded. "Let's remind the galaxy why Earth's enemies learned to fear us. Not because we were cruel, but because we never backed down from a bully." The human fleet began to move, their ancient engines powering up with a deep hum that made nearby stars tremble. The Empire was about to learn a hard lesson about waking sleeping giants. While the Imperial fleet approached, the humans made an unexpected move. Instead of preparing for battle, they sent small, fast ships to nearby worlds. On one such planet, a mining colony called Haven, the Imperial guards watched in confusion as a human shuttle landed in the main square. Out stepped Commander James, along with Anna and a small team. The aliens working in the mines stopped to stare. They had never seen humans before, but something about these newcomers made them stand straighter, made them feel hope. "We are from Earth," James announced through Guardian's translation system. "We've seen how the Empire treats you. We're here to help." At first, there was silence. Then an alien stepped forward. He was tall and thin, with skin that looked like stone. His name was Marcus, and he had led a secret resistance for years. "Why should we trust you?" Marcus asked. "Many promise help. None deliver." Anna smiled and touched a small device on her wrist. Above them, the sky suddenly filled with holograms of the human fleet. The Imperial guards reached for their weapons, but found them mysteriously deactivated. "Because," Anna said simply, "we have the power to fight back. And unlike the Empire, we believe in freedom." Back in space, Guardian detected the Imperial fleet's approach. 1,000 warships, their weapons charged, their commanders confident in their superior numbers. Admiral Reed stood on his bridge, preparing to give the order to attack. But the humans weren't finished surprising everyone. From the mining colony and dozens of other worlds, signals began broadcasting. The resistance movements that had hidden for so long were rising up. Marcus and his people had spread the word. Humanity had returned, and they were offering something the galaxy hadn't seen in a long time: hope. Tom's voice came over the fleet's comm system. "Sir, you need to see this. The alien workers, they're disabling the Imperial ships from the inside. They've been waiting for a chance like this." On his flagship, Admiral Reed watched in horror as reports flooded in. A third of his fleet was suddenly without power. The maintenance crews, all from conquered worlds, had sided with the humans. "Impossible," he shouted. "All ships, open fire. Destroy the human fleet." The remaining Imperial ships launched their attack. Energy beams and plasma torpedoes filled space, heading toward the human vessels. Admiral Reed smiled, expecting to see explosions. Instead, the weapons disappeared into invisible shields. The human ships didn't even move to dodge. They just stood there, protected by technology from Earth's golden age. "Guardian," James commanded from Haven's surface, "show them what real power looks like." Defense Pattern 5. The human fleet came alive. But instead of firing weapons, they launched thousands of small devices. These flew through space, passing straight through the Imperial ship's shields like they weren't even there. "What are they doing?" Admiral Reed demanded. He got his answer seconds later. Every Imperial weapon system shut down. Their shields flickered and died. Engines went quiet, but life support and artificial gravity stayed on. Anna's voice broadcast across all frequencies. "We could destroy your ships, but that's not our way. Power down and surrender. No one needs to die today." Marcus watched all this through the hologram above Haven. He turned to James, his stone-like face showing amazement. "You could crush them, but you choose not to." James nodded. Earth learned the hard way that true strength isn't about destroying enemies. It's about making allies. The resistance leader smiled for the first time in years. Then perhaps there is hope for the galaxy after all. More signals were coming in. Other resistance groups were rising up across Imperial space. The Empire's grip on power was slipping, not through violence, but through the hope that humanity had brought. Admiral Reed stared at his dead controls, then at the human fleet that had defeated him without firing a shot. For the first time, he felt real fear, not of dying, but of something worse, of being proven wrong about everything he believed. The age of the Empire was ending. The age of humanity had begun. And this time, they would do things right. The Imperial Palace shook with High Commander Wilson's rage. The massive viewscreen showed thousands of Imperial ships gathering for war, the largest fleet ever assembled in the Empire's history. 3 days, he growled at his generals. 3 days since these humans humiliated us. Today, we show them what real power looks like. Today, we bring the full might of the Empire. 10,000 warships filled the space around the Imperial capital. Not just regular ships, but the Empire's secret weapons too. Massive planet killer vessels that could shatter worlds. Experimental weapons that the Empire had never dared to use before. Meanwhile, on Haven, James received the reports of the Empire's gathering forces. He stood with Marcus and Anna in the old mining control center, now transformed into a rebel command post. "They're angry," Marcus said, looking at the tactical display. "I've never seen them commit so many ships." Anna studied the data with concern. Some of those energy readings, they're using dangerous technology. Unstable weapons that could tear space itself apart. James nodded. He had expected this. Tyrants always turn to their most destructive weapons when challenged. "Guardian, how many of our ships are ready?" "All 50 ships are at full power, Commander, but we are outnumbered 200 to 1. Tom's voice came through the comm system. "Sir, we've finished activating the special systems. The ones even Guardian didn't know about. Earth's last resort weapons." The young engineer had discovered hidden compartments in the ships, containing technology so advanced it had been kept secret even from Guardian. Weapons designed to fight enemies that Earth's ancient scientists had feared might exist in deep space. The Imperial fleet arrived in a massive flash of light. Their ships filled the sky above Haven, darkening the planet's surface. High Commander Wilson's voice boomed across all channels. "Surrender now, humans. You face the combined might of the Imperial fleet. Your technology cannot save you from 10,000 ships." James looked at Anna and Marcus, then smiled. "Guardian, show them what Earth's scientists created when they thought they might have to fight gods." At first, nothing seemed to happen. The Imperial fleet launched their attack, filling space with energy beams and missiles. Their experimental weapons powered up, ready to tear reality apart. Then the human ships began to glow with a strange golden light. "By the stars," Marcus whispered. The golden light spread, forming a vast web between the human vessels. When the Imperial weapons struck it, they didn't explode or bounce off. They simply ceased to exist. "Quantum deletion field activated," Guardian announced. "All hostile weapons are being removed from our local spacetime." High Commander Wilson watched in horror as his fleet's attacks vanished. But he wasn't finished. "Launch the planet killers. Destroy everything." The massive Imperial superweapons moved forward, their planet-shattering beams charging up. They fired. And the beams curved away from Haven, caught in the golden web. The energy twisted and turned, following paths that shouldn't exist, before flowing back into the human ships. "Quantum energy recycling complete," Guardian reported. "Our power levels are now at 300% normal capacity." James's voice carried across all frequencies. "That's enough, Commander Wilson. Your weapons can't hurt us. They can't hurt anyone anymore. Earth's scientists created these defenses to protect all life, not just human life." The golden web expanded, reaching every Imperial ship. One by one, their weapons shut down, not damaged, but transformed. The dangerous, unstable energy was converted into safe power for life support and engines. "What have you done?" Wilson demanded. Anna answered him, her voice firm but kind. "We've given you a choice. Your ships can still fly. Your people can still live and work and build. But you can't hurt anyone anymore. The age of weapons that can shatter worlds is over." Marcus watched as the mighty Imperial fleet hung powerless in space. "You could have destroyed them all," he said to James. "Yes," James replied. "But Earth remembered being refugees. We remembered almost destroying ourselves. When we went to sleep, we promised to be better when we woke up." The Empire's greatest fleet hung silent in space, its weapons transformed into tools for life rather than death. And across the galaxy, hope grew stronger as news spread. The humans weren't just powerful enough to defeat the Empire. They were wise enough not to become the very thing they fought against. The news spread faster than light across the galaxy. On thousands of worlds, the story was the same. The mighty Imperial fleet, defeated not by violence, but by technology that turned weapons into tools of peace. The Empire's iron grip was breaking, world by world, system by system. In the Imperial Palace, chaos reigned. High Commander Wilson stood before the Council, his once proud uniform now wrinkled from sleepless nights. "The outer systems are declaring independence. Our garrison troops. They're laying down their weapons. Nobody will fight." One council member slammed his fist on the table. "Then send the mind control devices. Force them to fight." A calm voice answered from the chamber entrance. "Those won't work anymore either." Everyone turned to see Anna walking into the council chamber, accompanied by Guardian's holographic form. Imperial guards moved to stop her, but their weapons had already been transformed by the golden quantum field. "Your reign of terror is over," Anna said simply. "Your weapons are gone. Your tools of control are useless. Now you have to learn what humans learned long ago, how to live with others as equals." Meanwhile, on Haven, James and Marcus coordinated the liberation of dozens of worlds. The mining colony had become the headquarters of the revolution, but it wasn't like any revolution in history. No shots were fired. No blood was spilled. Tom's voice came over the comm system, excited as always. "Commander, you need to see this. The Imperial shipyards, they're starting to build hospitals instead of warships. The quantum field didn't just change their weapons. It changed their whole manufacturing systems." The young engineer was right. Earth's advanced technology wasn't just destroying the Empire's ability to hurt others, it was transforming their whole civilization. Factories that once made chains now produced farming tools. Prisons turned into schools. Marcus watched the reports coming in with amazement. "I expected freedom to come with fire and blood. Not like this. Not with hope." James smiled. "That's because you've only known the Empire's way. Earth tried that path once, fighting violence with violence. It nearly destroyed us. When we went into Cryo sleep, we carried with us not just advanced technology, but advanced wisdom." In orbit above Haven, more human ships were waking up. These weren't warships, but vessels carrying Earth's greatest achievements in medicine, agriculture, and science. As each ship awakened, its crew joined the effort to help heal the wounds the Empire had left across the galaxy. On one Imperial farming world, alien slaves watched in wonder as human engineers transformed their harsh labor camps into automated farms that could feed millions. The overseers who had once beaten them now worked alongside them, their tools of punishment turned into farming equipment by the golden quantum field. Guardian's voice echoed through the human fleet. Reports coming in from all sectors. 97% of Imperial worlds have declared independence. The quantum field has spread to all known Imperial technology. Estimate complete transformation of military infrastructure within 48 hours. Back in the Imperial Palace, Anna faced the Council. "You have a choice to make. Actually, for the first time in your lives, you have many choices. You can join us in building something better, or you can cling to your old ways. But you can't hurt anyone anymore." That time is over. High Commander Wilson looked at his useless weapons, then at the reports of his transformed fleet. What would you have us do? Learn, Anna replied. Grow. Help us build a galaxy where no one has to live in fear. Where technology serves life, not death. Where different species work together instead of fighting. James's voice came through on all channels, reaching every world in what had once been the Empire. This is Commander James of the Earth Fleet. To all beings who hear this message, you are free. Your chains, whether physical or mental, have been broken. But freedom comes with responsibility. We offer you Earth's knowledge, Earth's technology, and Earth's help in building a better future. The choice to accept is yours. The revolution swept across space like a gentle wave, washing away the old order not with destruction, but with transformation. The Empire was ending not with a bang, but with the sound of billions of beings taking their first breath of freedom. 1 year after the Empire's transformation, Haven had changed beyond recognition. The former mining colony was now home to the First Galactic Council, where representatives from all species gathered to shape the future. The old control center, once used to monitor slaves, had become a symbol of unity and cooperation. James stood at the council chamber's window, watching ships from 100 worlds come and go freely through Haven's space. Next to him, Marcus had traded his rebels' clothes for the formal robes of a council leader. Sometimes I still can't believe it, Marcus said, his stone-like face showing a warm smile. A year ago, we were slaves. Now we're building something that has never existed before. True unity between all species. Below them in the city, humans worked alongside former Imperial citizens and freed slaves, teaching them to use Earth's advanced technology, but more importantly, teaching them how to use it wisely. Anna's voice came through the communication system. James, Marcus, you need to see this. Guardian has finished the final awakening sequence. They rushed to the observation deck. In orbit above Haven, the last of the human ships were coming to life. These weren't warships or even science vessels. They were great arc ships, carrying millions more humans who had slept through the centuries. Tom monitored the awakening from his engineering station. All systems normal. The last of Earth's children are coming home to a galaxy very different from the one they expected. Guardian's hologram appeared beside them. Final count. 10 million humans now awake. All ships report successful revival sequences. The Great Sleep is officially over. High Commander Wilson, now serving as a teacher of history rather than a leader of armies, watched the awakening with amazement. When we first found your fleet, we thought we had discovered dead ships to plunder. Instead, we found the key to our own salvation. The quantum field that had transformed the Empire's weapons now powered a new age of exploration and discovery. Former Imperial scientists, freed from building tools of war, worked with humans to unlock new mysteries of the universe. Guardian, James called, show us the galaxy map. A hologram filled the room, showing thousands of worlds glowing with the golden light of Earth's peaceful technology. Where the Empire had built walls between species, bridges now formed. Where they had dug mines, gardens grew. Anna stepped forward, pointing to new readings on the map. The quantum field is evolving. It's not just transforming technology anymore. It's helping heal the damage done to entire planets. Former prison worlds are becoming paradises. Polluted factory worlds are cleaning themselves. Marcus touched the hologram, zooming in on his homeworld. My people lived underground as slaves for 10 generations. Now they're rebuilding cities under open skies, all because humanity chose to wake up at exactly the right moment. But James shook his head, smiling. Not exactly the right moment. Any moment would have been right. The Empire's power was always an illusion. Real strength comes from unity, from wisdom, from choosing to help rather than hurt. Tom's console beeped with a new alert. Sir, we're getting signals from deep space. There are other civilizations out there, beyond what was Imperial space. They've seen what we've done, and they want to join us. In the council chamber, Representatives from 100 species gathered to welcome the last of the awakened humans. Former imperial nobles sat beside those who had once been their slaves. Scientists from Earth shared knowledge with researchers from distant worlds. Guardian's voice carried pride as it made the announcement, "Attention all worlds. The last of the sleeper ships are now awake. Earth's great journey is complete, but humanity's role as teachers and guardians is just beginning." James looked at his friends, Anna with her brilliant mind, Tom with his endless enthusiasm, Marcus with his hard-won wisdom, and even Wilson with his newfound humility. Together, they had helped create something unique in the galaxy's history, a civilization built not on power over others, but on bringing out the best in everyone. "So," Marcus asked with a smile, "what do we do next?" James gazed out at the stars, now filled with possibilities instead of threats. "We do what humanity does best. We explore, we learn, we grow. But this time, we do it together with all our new allies. The galaxy is no longer ruled by tyrants. Instead, it's guided by wisdom, protected by knowledge, and united by hope." The great fleet that had carried humanity through 2,000 years of sleep now had a new mission. Not to conquer, not to rule, but to help build a future where no species would ever tremble in fear again.